head. So algebra. Let's go through this section, and remember you're filling in all the gaps afterwards. So first question, for each of the following terms, write down the coefficient of the pronumeral. What does the word coefficient mean? Who knows? Nobody knows. Oh, that's sad. Yes. It is the number in front of the letter. So these ones are only one term at a time. So if I want the coefficient of this x, the coefficient is just the 8. The coefficient of the b is the 51. So they should be very, very quick, easy question. It just means the number that is in front of the letter. Okay? Question 2. List the like terms for the following. Like terms are the ones that have the same letters. So I'm looking at 2b, 7a, and 5a. So it's the 7a, the numbers aren't what's important, it's the letters. These two terms both have an A, so they are the ones that are like terms. So it says to list them, so I should write 7a and 5a, they are the like ones, but it's very tempting to just circle the ones that are like terms, I have to admit. I also highlighted this one, 5a, 2d, and 3a. Which ones are the like terms? Yes, the ones with the same letters, 5a and 3a. Okay. Once we know what like terms are, we learned that when we're adding and subtracting, as long as we have the same letter, we can add them up. What's the matter, Addison? No, that'd be okay. Okay. So y plus y, this is like I have one y here and plus another one y here. I have got 2 y's. Not y squared. Okay, we only change to y squared when we're multiplying, not when we're adding, okay? So don't mix that up. How about this? 2d's plus 3d's. We add the numbers in front to make 5 d's. So 5d. Okay? There's lots and lots of these ones. So this one is still the same thing, but we're subtracting this time. As long as they have the same letters, I subtract the numbers out the front. So 18 x's take away 3 x's. 18 take away 3 is 15 x's. Or 9m take away m. If there's no number there, it's a 1. So 9 take away 1 is 8 m's. All right, ready to switch modes? Because question 5 is multiplying. Now, first of all, we learnt when we're multiplying, we actually don't, when we write an answer down, we don't use multiplication symbols. Instead, we put things next to each other and it means multiply. So if you see 5 times d, we can simplify that by just writing 5d. Just put them next to each other. That's the only thing that we can do to simplify that. Look down here at g, x times y times 7. Again, I just want to put them all next to each other, but the order. If there is a number, we prefer the number to be out the front. Okay, so I'm going to move the 7 to be first, and then the x and the y, the letters sit afterwards. Okay, so in all of question 5, you're literally just getting rid of the multiplication signs and make sure the number is first and then your letters. So yes, you'd multiply those. So you go 8 times 2 is 16, and then the A, B would sit afterwards. Good question. Addie? We like it to be, but you don't get marked down if it's not. Okay? Okay, question 6. We want to expand. So you don't get these questions a lot because usually we like to simplify things. But expand means I want to put the multiplication signs back in. Okay, so 3ab, I will write down as 3 times a times b. That's how I expand it back out again. As I said, not very common, but there is a few of those in there. Okay, question 7. more multiplying. So if we have two numbers, we multiply those together. 6 times 3 is 18, and any letters we'll collect at the end. So 18K. C over here. Careful in here, we've got a plus sign and a multiply sign. Can I put the x with these ones over here? If I simplify the 3 times y, I'm going to get 3y, but that is not a like term with the x. So all I can do is leave the x alone and plus 3y like that, getting rid of the multiplication sign. I can't go any further. That's it. I highlighted this one because it was a divide. We prefer not to do divide signs either. What do we do instead? Fractions. So we write n over 3 instead. Yeah. D, all you would do is just get rid of the multiply sign. So 5 bracket a plus 2. Okay, and you have some more. There was one down here like that as well, so that I highlighted. So that tells you how to do this one now. The only thing you can do to this when we're simplifying is to get rid of the multiply sign and put the 3 right next to the bracket. So 3 bracket x plus 2. In G, you're just looking for the multiplication signs is what you're getting rid of, okay? So the 7 is going to go right next to the bracket. Then I'm going to have 4 plus, the plus needs to stay, but I can squish the 3 times x to be 3x, close bracket. No, that is all I'm wanting for those. We could expand the brackets, but the question would say expand the brackets if it wanted that. This question is just about trying to make it shorter by getting rid of times or divide signs. Yeah.
Will we have any expanding brackets?
Yeah, they're coming. They're coming. We will practice that. Jayla? Yeah, so you can't do anything. You'll have n plus 2, and then you just put it next to the n plus 3. Just getting rid of that multiplication sign and pushing them together. All right, let's keep going. No, yes? This is not expanding. We'll get to that later. There's a couple, yeah. Yeah. Question 9. Keeping going with the multiplication, putting more things in there. If we have a times a, we don't just go a. What do we do instead? A with a little power of 3. This is our indices. So the 3 will sit out the front, and a to a power of 3 is the shortest way to write that. Okay, let's look at F. I went to the hard one down here. The big numbers, let's multiply those. So 3 times 3 is 9. And then all those M's, I want to collect them up. So I count how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, which means I will have a power of 4 on that. So that only happens when the letters are the same and you're multiplying. Never ever do it when you're adding. All right, next. This is our expanding. Lots of expanding down here. Expanding means that we want to get rid of the brackets. The question will always tell you to do it. So see, expand, or remove the grouping symbols. That means expand. Okay? So whatever is at the front of the bracket, you want to times into each thing inside the bracket. So I do 3 times a, but in short form, that's 3a. Then I have a plus sign in my bracket, and now I multiply the 3 with the 2b. 3 times 2 makes 6, so 6b. We're going to do lots of these. Let's do some more. Is that fractions? I'm not sure what you said. In expanding, are you talking? I think you're talking about simplifying stuff. In algebra, there is, yes. Oh, the equations. Oh, the equations. Yeah, that's the cancelling stuff. This is not an equation yet. We're not trying to solve equations yet. This is just algebra skills. Okay. Yeah, that's in equations. I'm pretty sure what you're calling there. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep practicing our expanding. So for E, I do 8 times 6m. 6 8s are 48, and the m will sit afterwards. This time I have a minus sign in my bracket, and then I will do 8 times n, which is 8n. So minus 8n. Question 11 is still expanding. There's just lots of these ones. 4 times 2a is 8a, plus in the bracket 4 times 9 is 36. How about I give you a head start, see if you can do D. That's it for A. See if you can do this one. Do that times that. Plus that times that makes 3y. Good. Okay, question 12, still the same. See if you can do this one. So this one times this one. See if you can do it. Did you get that? And then plus a times 3, 3a. Yeah.
How would you do the one where it says A Y bracket 8?
That times that. So 8 times 2 is 16, and the y times y makes y squared. Then you do 8 times 7, which is 56, and 1y, because you have the 1y from the front. Okay, keep going. Question 13 and 14 is still expanding. So you do a times a is a squared, then plus a times b is just ab. Which line I've highlighted? This one? I'm going to do it. I'll do it. All right, let's do some of these ones. Question 13. A, 6 times 3 is 18, and you have the y in the bracket as well. Then you do 6 times 5 is 30, so plus 30. That one's okay. It was this one down the bottom, was it? So we do ay times a squared. There is only one a. How many y's are there? So it's y to the power of 3. Yep, that's okay. Then we have minus ay times 4 is 4ay. Just put that number in the front of it. Okay, is that coming back? I think that's all the expanding ones. Yep, sorry, write those down. Okay, so that's a whole page practicing expanding, so please make sure you do those. All right, next page, we are simplifying our like terms. Okay, this is back to the, if they have, they're adding and subtracting. If they have the same letters, then you can collect them up. So look at question 1. The x and this x, that they have the same letter. They are like terms. So remember, if there's no number in front, they're ones. So it's 1 plus another 1 makes 2 x's. And this minus 1 here, it is not a like term, so you can't do anything with it. It just sits at the end. 2x minus 1. Only the parts that have the same letters go together. Let's try this one because it's got a few more terms. The minus 2, does it have a like term? It does. Which one? Yeah, and I'm glad you remembered the minus. Good. You always take the symbol in front. So it's minus 2 minus 3 is what? I was going to tell you the answer. Minus 5. So the 2 yellow ones that I've highlighted make minus 5. Are these 2 like terms?
Yes.
Yes, they both have m's. So I have minus 3 plus 3. What does that make?
6.
Nope. Nope. 0. The zeros are right, yes. If I have 3, what does M stand for? Monkeys? I don't know. Minus 3 of something, and then I add 3, I have nothing. So they're gone. They disappear. There's no M's there at all. Because you always take the symbol in front. So that 3, that minus belongs with that 3. All right, let's do some more. I think there's quite a lot of these, so I highlighted a few more down the page. So 27. Which ones go together? 5x and minus 7x. So 5 take away 7 is, what is it? Negative 2x. The minus 6 is different, so it sits on the end, minus 6. Talon? But no, that's it.
If you did show them.
What working out would you show? No. It'd be too messy. It'd be confusing. All right, there's more. Go over to question 15 on the next page. I told you there'd be lots of these. This is still the same stuff, which is why I'm just picking a few every now and then. Don't yell out at me, please. Shh. Okay, looking for like terms. 2a, 6g, and minus 4n. Do I have any like terms? No. What is the answer? Yes. Do not leave it blank. If it cannot be simplified, you still need to write it down, or it would be like you haven't answered the question. You have to still write down the answer, which is the exact same thing. There's nothing that you can simplify. In question D, do I have like terms? Yeah, where? 8a and the minus a. So highlight them. That one goes with that one. What is 8a take away a? Nope. 7. Because remember, this is a sneaky one. No number here is a 1. So it's 8 take away 1, which is 7a. What about these guys? Do they do anything? No, because they're different. This one has a C, this one doesn't. So I just write them on the end. So plus 3c plus 7, and that's all I can do. All right, what else have I highlighted? Oh, question 16. Now we are at the point where it says, I know that h is equal to 3. For this question, it might be something else in a different question, but in these questions, h is equal to 3. I want to substitute that into these expressions to find out what c is equal to. All right, so this, you need to show me 2 lines of working. The first line, you sub in that the 3 where the h is. It also means that you might have to put a multiplication sign in, because if things are next to each other, they need to be multiplied, right? So underneath here, I'm going to go equals 3 times 3, because h is equal to 3. I'm just replacing that h with the 3. And the second line is that you work out what that equals. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so another one down here. Replace the h with the 3. So it will become 2 times 3 plus 13. Okay, that's my first line. Second line, what does that equal? 19, good. Okay, so they're called substitution questions. This one has got 3 different letters. This is still substitution. M is equal to 4, T is equal to 2, and U is equal to 9. Okay, you've got all these different things that you're going to sub into. So the first one, M, T, U, when they're all next to each other, they are all times. First line, we sub in. M is 4 times T, which is 2, times U, which is 9. 4 times 2 times 9. What does that equal? 72. Good. Okay, here's another one down here. Oh, I might need to see my numbers up above. Shrink it down. 2 bracket U minus T. Don't try to calculate anything in the first line. Just sub in. So leave the 2 out the front. Bracket. Replace the U with what number? Up the top, 9. Then minus, replace the t with what number? 2. Okay, so I've subbed in, and now you can calculate. What does that equal? Yeah, good. Well done. All right, and then this section says advanced only, so this is not going to be on your exam kind of questions, so only if you're up for a challenge. I think that might be the end. Yeah, the next section's measurement. So let's stop there. That's where you need to be up to at the end of this page of substitution, please.